good morning, good afternoon, good evening to people who is watching us from different countries. My name is Tatiana Koval, and this is podcast Happy at Work. In our podcast, we discuss different topics about people-centric organization. We discuss corporate culture, employee happiness, employer brand management, and today we will discuss a very important topic: internal communication. And our guest is Lucas Bosco. Lucas is my colleague from Brazil. Good morning, Lucas.
Good morning.
My first question to all my guests, I ask them to introduce themselves because your professional experience, you know better. And I think it's very
Okay.
important that our audience also start to know you and can follow you at least on LinkedIn.
Okay. Let's do it. Well, I'm Lucas. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, um, born and raised. So I'm full Brazilian on that way. And I worked in internal communication for almost 15 years, just from the beginning of my career. So I came from college just directly to the internal communications work. And now I'm more specialized in the employer branding, but I work with the telecommunications now through four big companies here in Rio, and I have a lot of experience. I've been doing this for a lot of time, and I've done all the parts of the internal communication work. So I've done the design of the emails. I've been doing events from the beginning. Uh, as well. I'm improving my career just from the bottom from now where I am today, and I'm a full-time internal communicator, so we can discuss a lot about trends and about what about we can do in this market as well.
And also, I could say what you have very productive on LinkedIn. You are sharing your experience on
Yes.
LinkedIn too, and I think we also a little discussion between internal communications and as the LinkedIn because you are as an employee of the company. I think self promotion, company promotion on LinkedIn. But my first question, as we discussed before, is about trends in internal communication. Now they are beginning of 2024, and what they think? What is the main trends of internal communications for this year?
For this year especially, um, I would say it's likely the same answer for the last few years. It's all about personalization, how we talk to the people in the company. So how we can make every communication to everyone, and it looks like it's personalized, or even using the technology that we have today, and how to make this real personalized for everyone, for each people, but to everyone. Today I work in a 10,000 people company, so it's a pretty big challenge today for me, but I think it's gonna be the main trend for 2024. Also, we had a lot of I could say it could be digital transformation or something like this, but I think the main objective that should be the personalization of the communication. It's going to be a very hard one. We are trying this over the years, and I think we're gradually going to take this sweet spot where you can make a communication that's personalized for everyone. Another way to think about it is probably the main topic in almost all podcasting about HR is the artificial intelligence. So we can use it for personalization. We can use it for a lot of things. And how to use the artificial intelligence is going to be to a very useful topic for this year. Is but pretty much we are studying this and trying to understand how it's going to work and help us to really achieve something. Use the artificial intelligence just for use or maybe to create content. I don't think it's going to be a very good way to use it, but we can have ways to use the AI as a true company, the tool for reaching the people, not only for creating quality content for us. So I think that's going to be two of the main things we're going to do this year in telecommunications.
May I ask you a little bit about customization? In the real world, all of us prefer to have their own feed in social media. We have some preparation, then we decided to read something or watch something. Usually in company, what is the best way to implement the customization process? From one side, we want to share a lot of information with employees if they are open to them. From another side, then they have a lot of information. They start to close from it. What is the right balance? How to customize and how could we help our employees customize their feed and their communication in the company?
Well, we can do a lot of things. So from the top of my head, I can think if you have, for example, if you have an internet in your company where you post your news and everything that's going on in the company for now, if you can filter this content by yourself as a employee, you can have a more customized feed of the information that you really want to read. Of course, you have some things you have to read. There's not an option, but when it's an option, you should be okay for you to filter this and do not read the ones that you don't want or don't have a match to how you believe you use your day. And we can do something like this if you have some kind of chat or Teams or WhatsApp or whatever the tool you have in the company. If you have some way to distinguish the topics in groups, and the people can sign for some groups, not all of them only, so you can read the information that you really want. We kind of try to use these channels as we use in the real life. So in my life, I don't follow everyone on Instagram. I follow just the people that I want to hear, want to see, or want to know about. So if you think like that in the company, maybe you can reach for the people more easily and to not try to, force them to read a content that maybe it's not of their interest. So I think that it's going to be a better way to balance this. And of course, as I said, there's some information that we have to make people read. That's people have to be compliant about. So they have to. But when it's not the case, we should try to convince. We treat the company people like an captive audience, like they will read everything you write, they will see every video, and that's not the truth. They're gonna skip it. They're gonna get away. They're not going to read everything. They're not going to watch every video. So we have to be a little more customizing. We have to customize more our content, so it's gonna be more likely to them to really see, really engage, and be a part of this.
My next question is about channels. What channels do you think they should use this year for maybe for a different type of employees or for more effective communication? What is your advice to the companies?
The companies should really look for the company itself. Let me explain. If you have some people on sales that are standing on stores every day, every time. You can't think that these people is gonna are gonna read an email, and or gonna be up to date, and there's the chat on the Teams or something like that. They're gonna not gonna be. They're standing in a store for 8 hours maybe, having a lunch break of 30 minutes. So they're not gonna pay attention for your communication, no matter what. If you use a really good picture, an AI generated picture, so it's not gonna help. You have to see the company, really see the company, and try to have channels that work better for everyone, including the people from fabric or the people who's going to work in the industry. They're going to stay there doing really the job. And so we have a lot of channels that can make this work, mostly the ones that are already in these people's lives. Let an example, here in Brazil, we use the WhatsApp a lot. WhatsApp is this messaging app. In the US, it's not that common, so but Brazil is very common. So we in my company we're trying to use it as an official company tool for communication. Everyone can do this. Of course, you have to set rules. You cannot uh, talk to people after hours. We cannot send communications in the weekends. There's a lot of rules to really be in compliance with the HR rules, but you can try it. You can have I don't know, you can have an Instagram account for the internal communications material only. It's possible. You have to make sure that the only people in the company are following. Yes, it's gonna be hard, okay? But it's possible to have a channel where these employees already use it. They do not have to learn another app, and do not have to have another app in their cell phones. It's gonna be even harder. So if you use the channels that they are already using, it's gonna be a lot easier for everyone.
Uh, may I ask you about AI? You told us this is a big trend. I'm absolutely sure what this is a big trend in all industries and all spheres. What is your recommendation? How the people from internal communication should use AI for improving their efficiency in work? Maybe you could share some life hacks from your personal experience.
Yes, let me see. Well, I think AI is gonna be a big thing for the next years. So we can use it, as I said, for customization. It's going to be a very good use for it. Also, I personally, I'm for myself, I would like to see all the chatbots in the world gonna be substitutes. It's gonna go. We're gonna throw away all the chatbots and put in artificial intelligence in the place of them, so we can do not have to deal with the limitation of the chatbot and go straight to an AI that can really talk to you. And yeah, we can use AI for a very internal use. Okay, this to do the data analytics. So you have a lot of data. There's a lot of information about who is reading the emails, or at what time they are opening it, and how much likes and a newsletter is having. You can gather this information and use the AI to analyze and help you finding better channels, better times, better ways to communicate. So you can use the AI not just to communicate to people, but to learn from the people. It's going to be a very useful way. Should be Everyone should consider it, because as I told you, as I don't believe in AI creating content. but I believe in AI to understand this very broad data that we've had and trying to make sense. Okay. Of course, you can do AI for consolidating to take a, an example. If you do an event, if you make a communication, you gather feedbacks from people, maybe in surveys or some kind of feedback, a form of feedback. You put this all together, use AI to analyze it, and bring it onto you a better way to do your job, a better way, how people will be more pleased if you do it some certain way. And analyze this kind of data can take a lot of time, and AI makes it very short. So you can use it for this purpose. It's going to be very helpful, more helpful. I'm going to be repeating myself, but more helpful than content generation. I really, really don't believe in AI doing this for us. I still believe that this communication part, this generation of content should be done by people. We are talking to people. The AI really tries. It's really a great universe, but it's not a person talk to you. So we have to be a person to HR or internal communications or employer branding. It's have to be a people on people matter. So the AI is very good for a lot of things, but not to create content for people from people. No?
Mhm. My next questions for you is about formats of communication, because for every we have different formats for a different audience. For example, my first son come to me and show, for example, for Instagram stories, new format for the young generation, that they share the screen in two parts, and in one part
Yeah.
you could see the something what we want to show, and the second part something what help to save your attention to this. So this is maybe you know what I'm talking about. It was unusual for me because I'm from other generation, and I
It's a
understand.
very TikTok thing.
Yes, it's from something from TikTok. So you receive the
Yes.
YouTube Shorts after TikTok and so on. What because the content and formats outside companies, they change our behavior in consuming information. What type of formats do you think should they use inside companies? Because, for example, for long reads, maybe it's good, but not for all. And it could be difficult to use only the long reads when we want to say something. What is your advice? What type of format we should pay attention this year?
Well, you said you pointed a very good one. Okay. At first, we have to be aware of all of them. Okay. Yes, as an HRP person, we have to have a TikTok account. Yes, you have to. And maybe try to understand other count or other apps that the Gen Z mostly are using today. So we have to be aware of all of these formats to know about them and understand what's going on with these people. Okay. And that said, in companies, I really I believe that this long video format is not going to work anymore. We have been seeing this through the years. The numbers of from videos are going down a lot. You say, but YouTube is not going. Yes, and on YouTube I'm seeing uh, things that I want to see. I really want to see. Do you really want to see what the company is saying about this? No, you have to see. So when it's a long video, maybe you just yeah, you don't get to the finish. Maybe you don't do not finish, and it's gonna be okay. Because it's like that. We try to mimic what we see outside and bring it to the company, but at the same time, we cannot forget that what you have outside the company is content that you really want to see, you are seeking for it, and we have in the company is content that the company wants you to see. So there's a difference, so you have to keep it in mind. Um, get it formats. I I really like this one with the content and the share video thing because it really works. I use it. I'm a TikTok user, so I hate to it, but I have to say that I really understand how it works, and it really works. It's so freaking insane for me, but it works. Okay, and I really believe in I really believe in these small formats, just like we see in our lives. These TikTok videos, 1 minute, 30 seconds, information on little bits that you can gather. If you want to have a full information, have a lot of them, and try to avoid the big videos. I don't think they're going to work for the next years. You can see maybe YouTube just have the reels and they have the shorts, reels for Instagram. They have the reels. If you open your YouTube app, you're going directed to the shorts. They are not going for your main page. You're going direct to the shorts. And this is the new thing that we're doing. We're going for small, short videos. And maybe um, you don't have to do a lot of job on these videos. You know, people want to see what you are like now, today. Take your cell phone, put it on a stand, shot a video, stop, and publish it. You don't have to be on a big structure, a lot of lights. They have to see you, they have to hear you, but you need a very expensive microphone or some kind of a lot of lights and people and a crew to record you. For sometimes, yes, but maybe for communicate to people, they like to see that in the back of a scenario you have an old picture or an old painting of your son. So they have to see that you are a real person, you know, not a person in an office or maybe not very good green screen that you show something on the back. The people want to know what you were that you are a person that's talking to a person. So people to people, it's gonna work better. I really believe in this format with the when you are this rough format that you just record on your home, on your on a workspace on your home and try to communicate. I really like to see and maybe a CEO in the company just in his lounge in his home and going to see, oh, today you have a very good really a record of sales. And he's just talking in his home to the people in the company. He do not need to be in a suit in his office and try to look very serious to talk about serious things. You can be yourself and still bring the message.
Uh, Maybe talk about Brazil. What difference would you see between Brazil and maybe between any other countries? Maybe a style of communication, important topics for the employees in Brazil. Um, what is your opinion about it?
Well, in Brazil we are well, let's go in parts, okay? In Brazil we are mostly of the time, okay? We are warm to people. We are very near to people. So the way that we write in Brazil, it reflects it. So we're mirroring this kind of conversation more than a very strict message for people. It works for Brazilians, okay? So the way that we talk about things is a little more soft, never too hard on stuff, because people don't respond well to this. So we're trying to um, go with that. We
I
do
think a
we like
Brazilian
to.
culture is a people-centric culture.
Yeah, so to talk like people. Even in email, we talk like people. We do not make these very strict emails because that we do not need it. And we like a lot to see ourselves. It's very a Brazilian thing, but the people in the companies really like to see themselves on the material. So if you have an email, internet, you have this social this enterprise network, put the people on that, put the people pictures on that, the people from the company. They like to see each other. It's a very Brazilian thing too. You can say too that we have a very strong HR laws. So we have a lot of thing about this. The Brazil laws about people is about companies and HR and this kind of stuff is very strong. It's a very Brazilian thing. So people, that's the content that people most read. Even it's not the better one from the most creative one. It's a very strong content for us. So you have to be aware of this when talking to Brazilians. And that's something about Brazil too, that we are almost everyone, we are early adopters of almost all technology. So if you see a new technology, go to the Brazilians. They really like to try new things. If you're in the company have new technology, you have to put it on and people will go through it. So you have to try this too. And we have a very hierarchical structure in Brazil for almost all companies, okay? So it's a very Brazilian thing to understand that we have these companies, even it's a big one, okay? We have this hierarchical structure, so it reflects also in how Brazilians talk in company. We understand that I'm here as a manager, a senior manager, and you have this structure. So it reflects also in how we communicate here in Brazil.
Hmm. Uh, when they talk about style of communication, what type of communication usually companies prefer? More people-centric, more open communication, usually humor, or mm, more formal communication? What is
Yeah,
your advice? What is the best way for the company start to communicate? Because for example, I see in LinkedIn is a business network number one. There are a lot of people start to use emojis. Previously in internal communication, they said no emoji. It should be uh, because we are not for the young generation, we are for adults only. So now we see the changes. And also it's about the style of communication. Previously we have the long sentences, like Balzac um wrote, and now we use the short sentences. What is use of style of communication? What work, for example, in Brazil, or maybe not only for Brazil, or maybe for a different generation, we should use different type of styles.
we should be very aware of how the memes work in the internet today and try to use it. In Brazil, it's a very strong way to get a message. You see a meme, you say this is popping away, it's hyped somehow. Just run and use it. It's gonna work. People here love it, and they feel that they are part of it, so it really works. This kind of communication, that this two-sided communication is very good, but carries some kind of risk because people can be strange. People can forget they're in a company. People can say things that they shouldn't. So I like it, but with a little concern. And I like the short sentences is a very good way to talk to people because we are now we are this kind of people. We are this kind of short things people. We like short sentences, short videos, short everything. Um, Today, I have to say, don't use emojis anymore because not even the young generators like emojis. They are in another level now. They like the other things. Emoji now is more of a millennial thing than a young people thing. They are very concerned. They don't like it. If you send an emoji to 20 years, they will make it find it cringy. So it's not gonna work. Um, but try to be close. Try to be close to people in in every way it's possible to be, uh, and be very direct in the message. Do not. If you try now, I think it's not because the internet, but if you try now to stand the thought, can go from the beginning, explain a history, trying to tell a story, but if you're trying to convince me of the story, people you know they will know that you are trying to make it believe here in the story, make people live this, go step by step, make people live this story, make people go through this, and they will reach for you more easily. If you try to tell people a story, they will know you are telling a story and they will not believe it. So make people live and not try to tell them how it's gonna work, how it should work. They will not believe you. So it's all about an inner truth of the company. The company should really have this kind of transparency. The people will go and the people will like more and be more, know, feel they're more part of the company. So I'm gonna go with short sentences, short videos, okay? Not emojis anymore for another reason now. And most likely be transparent more, the more the better, because people like to feel, like to be told the truth, like to understand how things works. So transparency is a very good way to do this. And finish, I would say try to be humorous, try to be well, try to to smile while you're reading. It's a better way to communicate. Nobody wants a grumpy face, so try to be smile while you're reading, while you're writing, while you're filming, and you will reach the people more easily.
Uh, my next question is about employee advocacy program. Now it's become very popular to integrate employees as a part of communication outside company and also inside company. And user-generated content is very popular, could be very popular. What do you think about employee advocacy? How come company could use it? What is the best way maybe for internal communication, especially in the big corporation, to use this tool?
Yeah, I love it, employee advocacy. I really love it. And I really think it's have to be a very natural thing from the person who's doing. I do it a lot. I talk about a lot about the company that I work for. I tell things about them that I like. And I really think that this employee advocacy should be something that the company will not try, ha, cannot try to force to people. It has to be something that comes naturally to the person who is doing it. What the company can do and should do is get the information to the people, make it there, just leave the information, uh, tell people what's working on the company, and do not try to make, oh, go there, post it on media. That's not going to work. It's not about people sharing only the company content that's going to work. To it really have some kind of meaning, you have to write about it. You have to tell your story about it, tell how it connects to your life, your style, what you are doing, and you cannot fabricate this. People have to have this, to the liberty to share and add their own opinions about this. What company can do really is give the information and give the liberty to people, make people know that they can have their opinions, and their opinions do not have to be exactly what the company thinks. Of course, you cannot go against your company on the internet. It's not gonna sound good. It's not gonna like good. They're gonna look good because, well, you work there. You're not gonna go against the company, but you don't have to literally say exactly what they're saying. You have to have your opinion and say, oh, this thing I like a lot. This thing connects to me. This thing I can say, whoa, it's incredible, but you cannot have people feel obligated to do to share or to write about. So I really like the employee advocacy. If I would have a program now in the company, I would say give content and give freedom to people, and you see it works for everyone.
Uh, I think you know a lot of very interesting cases of internal communication, different types. Could you share maybe some cases from the previous year, which you will think very interesting and you recommend to implement to other companies because it's maybe something new
Yes.
or something innovative in these cases, something trendy, and of course effective. Uh, could you share?
I have a very recent one that we have done it here in Team Brazil recently. I've shared something about it in my LinkedIn before, so I can talk to you right now about them. It's a people to people kind of recognition. It's about well, let me talk about it. It's if I would translate the name of the program, it's be like a cool team. So, oh, thank you, team, some kind of this, because I can go to this small, it's not a software as well, it's just a page, is a Power Apps page, so it's very easy to manipulate. You go there and you find the name of another employee of the company, and you go and you have to describe a little history how this employee helped you, how the job he did is very good, or is very helpful for you, or is very helpful for the company. You have to compliment these people, okay, this person. And also when you compliment, you have to check the box or the on what choosing one value of the company that this person is being very good at. So you check the value, you describe the history you have had with this person, and you send it. Then the other one is gonna receive an email with this describe this history and this compliment, and also the manager, the direct manager of this person will receive it as well. So I'm giving for the employee a compliment from another employee, and also giving the manager a tool to really complement the team as well. Imagine that you have 10 people just under you, under your management. So they are getting a lot of compliments. You can use it for management. You can use it on a team meeting. You can use it to try to evaluate your team and see, well, some of those people are having a very good performance or a very good relationship with other employees in the company, on other areas, and other. So you can have it a very good way to recognize, to let people know that you're doing a good job, and this job is being seen by the company. There's a very small, I would say, trickies on this program, that the story that you tell about what's happening have to have at least 300 characters. So it's not, you can't say, oh, Tatiana is great. No, I have to tell how you are great, what have done, what made me go there and say that you're great. So have to really use it and say how it's gonna work. And at the same time, when your manager get this, they cannot not see, they cannot see, cannot not see, guys, what's going on, and that you are doing a great job. And maybe they are not seeing this, but now it's not possible to go through without recognizing that you are doing a great job. And also you use this information to create content for the internal communications area. So if you get 10 recommendations for one project, I I will reach you, make an interview, and show everyone, well, look, Tatiana got a lot of recommendations for the job. It's very good. So we're becoming these characters for us in educational communication, because we know that people recognize people are seeing you as a role model and an example of people that has to be followed. So it works for us for creating content, it works for the employee that's being complemented, and it works for the managers. They have one more tool to do the management better. So it's a very internal communications project. We're having very good results to now. So we're having 4 months of this project, and we have something about a little more than 4,000 recommendations. So it's gonna work. It's working very well, and if we think that's gonna be a very resourceful tool for maybe some years.
Mhm. I think it's great cases and tools for companies who implement management by values approach. As I,
Yes.
as I see, I think it's really useful and interesting. Uh, my question, I want to ask you about diversity and inclusion. Uh, is it important topic now for internal communication, especially in Brazil? Because I see a lot of communication about it worldwide. I see what this topic stays in the chart trends for, I think, at least 5 years. And for this year again, in all reports about chart trends, told about diversity, inclusion, equity, belonging, and so on. Could you tell a little bit about this topic in Brazil and maybe some important focuses? Because it's very interesting. But now I'm connected with my colleague from a PAC region, and she asked me what is the main focus for a day in Brazil, and I decided to ask you as a professional.
Well, let's see. Diversity and inclusion in Brazil, it's a very important topic right now. Okay? It's for some companies it's the main topic. So in my vision for this, it's not you cannot work anymore and do not think about diversity on your company. Okay? If your company is not looking for diversity, they are wrong. They are in the wrong pace, because they're going to have to look to this. It's gonna be pretty soon a standard thing in the companies. The companies that don't have anything working on diversity and inclusion will be left by people. People are going to leave, because when you try and see the inclusion topics, you see that they create a better environment for everyone, not just for the one that you're directed, so that we influence directly, but for everyone. As I see now, we have some, I know, pillars for this. You have to include yes, we have to have a pillar for gender because we still have a difference in Brazil as a nation between men and women's salaries, gap salaries. That is a problem in Brazil yet. We are trying to solve it in Brazil. There are laws for this, but that's still a problem. We have the LGBTQP in Brazil, LGBTQ APS, AP and plus, LGBTQI plus, as Ono says. We have the pillar for them because it's a very necessary one. There's a lot of prejudice on them, so that's a very necessary. We have this racial pillar too. That's very important. We have to be aware. We have to do the difference here. And you also have the age pillar. And the age pillar is the one that gives you more cues how people do not work on them because even if you have 20 years now, in 20 more years, you're gonna need this pillar for you. Even if you are this very self-centered person, you have to look to the age pillar because you're gonna be there sometime. So work for this pillar. And of course, the disability, the people with disabilities pillar, because we have to do a lot of this for these people too. They are they are very important for the economy. So we have to. But my point is when it talks about inclusion, we have to include everyone, every people. Everyone has to be fine in a company. That has to feel that they're home, that's welcome here. So if your company is not doing this, you should think about start now. Um, Go small steps. Do as you it's better for the company, but start it because it's gonna be very very necessary. It's already necessary now, but it's gonna be way necessary in the years to come.
Thank you for our conversation. And I have one last question. It's also a traditional question for all my guests. I ask them to say three important things, three important advices to all of our audience. For you, this question is: what is the three important things in internal communication that the people should focus in this year?
Okay. First of all, think to people. You are a person. You are talking to persons, to people. You need to think about it. You need to know that you're talking to another person. Second one, do not let the AI tool to do your job. You do your job, the AI helps you. And the third one, it has to be look into diversity and inclusion. Not on diversity, mostly on inclusion. Bring people to your company, make this environment better.
Lucas, thank you for a conversation. I think we have a lot of interesting insights for all people from all countries. Um, Happy to see you, and I have a strong recommendation to all my audience to follow you on LinkedIn because you share really a lot of very interesting and useful content. And thanks again for your participation in our podcast, Happy at Work.
Thank you, Tatiana. It was great.
Stay in touch. Have a good day.
Bye.